wheeled, one of the 17 rabbits. And she's fallen out of bed and she's made Abigail rub her leg while she's holding her head with her fingers in her hair and making her do it.
Yep.
Basically reminding her,
I'm in charge.
I'm in charge, you're a no one. You still have to answer to me.
Yep.
You're still just one of you're a scrambling rabbits.
Your privilege is totally reliant on my pleasure.
Pretty much.
Yep. Okay.
So that's what I mean. So she won, but she'll never be queening, will she?
Never. She'll never get all the way to the top.
No.
No, because she's just not. And she was a cousin.
Sarah's cousin.
Yes.
So the reason why she used to be a lady, which is why she could pull it off being a lady. But her family fell on hard times. All
right, Pip. I'm just going to come straight through to the crunch here. What are you going to give it?
I'm probably only going to give it 6.
That low?
But only because for my enjoyment of the film, it is a beautiful film. Mm-hmm. Music's beautiful. It looks beautiful. The actresses have done a really great job.
You are going to savage it because you felt awkward.
Yep.
Well, I think
this is my opinion on the film.
Directors, take note. If you make Auntie Pip awkward, you're going to get savaged in the reviews, okay? So just bear that in mind, ladies and gentlemen. So it's got to basically make you a happy person for it to get a high score. So you can only
There are films that we've watched.
Yes.
That didn't have a happy ending. All this other stuff.
Can you see the big problem in the way that you are scripting these films and rating them? If it doesn't make Pip happy, it's a shit film.
I'm not saying it's a shit film. So I'm saying it's a 6-star.
Can't watch a sad film. Like, we both looked at Roma the other day and we both decided it was fucked. But it was fucked for a whole lot of reasons other than the fact that it made Pip cry.
But the difference is though, when you say, would you recommend it? I'd go, God, no. Where this one, I'd say, yes. I think people would enjoy it and should watch it. I didn't I'll care for it. I won't be watching it again. But that's only because of me. I think it's beautifully done film.
Particular picadillos.
But this is how I rate films. You're aware of this.
I know, but
I don't change what I'm doing.
No, we know that. After 15 years, I've worked that out.
But that's what I'm saying. It's a great film. I'd suggest other people go and watch it.
Yes.
But I'm not watching it again.
Right. Okay.
I didn't get full enjoyment. I didn't come out of it going, oh, wow, oh, my gosh, I love that film so much. I came out of it going, oh.
Even though it was superb.
It was superb.
Well, can't you recognise it and say,
no, I don't do you and go, oh, even though I didn't like it, I'm going to rate it up. Or even though I really liked it, I'm going to rate it down.
Detachment whatsoever. You're not capable of detachment?
What do you mean?
Is that true? Is that what you're trying to say to me?
No.
You can't detach yourself and know that you felt awkward for your own personal reasons why it made you feel awkward, but you recognise that the film itself was superbly put together.
Which is why we discuss the film. Otherwise, if we only just gave out star ratings, people would be like, oh.
6. Was it 6 or 6.5?
6.
It'd be 6, of course. You don't do halves. Except for when you want to.
Oh, my gosh. Wow.
I am quite the bitch tonight, aren't I?
How many stars do you give it, Paul?
9.
Whoa.
It's a superb film.
Paul loved that film. No, sorry. He may not have loved it. He might have just thought other people would.
Screw you, Pip.
We're all getting our cat claws out.
Oh, yeah, I can see him raking across me now. No, A, I really enjoyed it. B, I really enjoyed the music. C, I really enjoyed the psychological discourse that was going on between the three women and the dynamics involved in that. 4, I thought it was superbly put together. 5, I thought the script was very well adapted today and it was applicable. And what it was trying to do, which is the big one, it was just trying to show how 3 women were able to go and claw each other to pieces and be entertaining at the same time. And I thought it did that easily and with great aplomb.
Would you suggest this to your friends?
I would suggest this to my enemies. I would. I'd suggest it to both friend and enemy alike.
Do you think it is better, worse, on par with Green Book?
No.
Do you
I gave it a 9.
Yeah, I know. Do you want to extend on that?
Does it beat Green Book?
For a best film.
I really enjoyed the musical journey in this. The metronomic aspect of it mildly irritated at times. And
I found that really interesting.
it was interesting, and then 15 minutes later it became mildly irritating
Really?
because it had gone on for 15 minutes.
Did you notice, though, that the key changed slightly in certain aspects?
Oh, absolutely. But
Okay.
that just means that the sink has started to fill up with water. Because
Okay.
it sounded like a dripping tap after a while, and it does tend to irritate you after a while.
Okay.
Certainly does me. I'm sure I'm not the only person on the planet who gets irritated by, a single dripping tap plonking on the bloody cistern.
Okay. I didn't see that.
It was a little bit.
So because of that, it's not as good as Green Book.
No. There was that. You asked, and there was that.
Yeah.
Second of all, I don't think it was as funny. I don't think it was as entertaining, although it was hugely entertaining. But I thought Green Book was superbly entertaining, and you had that massive payoff at the end, whereas this didn't give you the big payoff at the end.
No.
And so that's why it gets a 9 instead of a 10.
Okay.
And I don't give 10s out willy-nilly. I know I give them out more than you do, but I don't. You think about the films that I have given it to a 10, you'd almost come and agree with me, except upon principle, when it comes to Lock, Stock and Smoking Barrels, Two Smoking Barrels. That'd be the one you'd become closest to agreeing with me on a 10, because it shifted you all the way to a 9.5. And what was the other one? Lawrence of Arabia. Well, obviously we can't agree on that one. We'll just let that, slide off to one side. But everybody else knows it was a 10.
Green Book.
And Green Book, which I thought was one of the best crafted films we've seen in a very long time. It was beautifully, beautifully done. Green Book put me in mind, this is going to sound a little odd, but it kind of put me a little bit in mind of Guess Who's Coming to Dinner, in that it felt a little bit like a play in my mind. It was all the script, the way that the script had been written out, there was no words wasted.
No.
Do you know what I mean? Do you know what that play-like
they really thought about
aspect?
the dialogue.
Exactly. Like
each word had
there
weight.
was no filler words, or words that set the scene. I meant there was another good example. What's another good example that's come out recently of a film where they have not wasted a single word in it? Probably.
Oh, you're putting me on the spot. I can't even think.
Look,
I'm sure there's movies out there that we've just gone, wow, the dialogue in that was awesome, but
yeah,
I can't think at the moment.
I'll definitely, Green Book is one.
I can see you've got one in your mind, but I don't know what
but
it is.
I don't want to say it because I gave it such a savaging last week.
Last week?
I don't think there was very much wasted in the script
Black
of
Klansman
Roma.
or
Of Roma. That was its only other aspect that I thought was very strong. But it loses it because you're reading the text as opposed to hearing the words being spoken, which is far more powerful.
Maybe. It didn't.
You could see when you were watching it, there was kind of a simplicity about the way, there was an economy of the way that they were speaking.
They didn't have to speak as much.
Yes, and there was no words wasted. It gave you that feeling of nothing's wasted here. Do you know what I mean? And
Yep.
it was a very strong feeling. Still hated the movie, and Roma is fucked, but for that aspect. And
Did you feel the dialogue wasn't as strong?
no, it wasn't.
No.
No, it was.
It probably clashed for me
It
slightly.
was a little bit.
But I didn't know whether that was just because
It was a little bit pretentious.
Well, I didn't know whether for me it was because it didn't match with what was happening. I don't know. Match with what was happening. I couldn't decide.
I mean, it's hard for period films like that because you either go down the line of doing something in the style of Jane Austen and you put in all the 17th century dialogue,
Which can really hurt some people.
Which is massively verbose, and people a flat out understanding what the hell's being spoken, or
you go
Yes,
the other way and make a statement of it.
You make them all sound like they're street talking in Manhattan. You know what I mean? It's like, it was almost like that. It was like the language was very modern, very modern indeed. They had the men speaking more archaically than the women. Did you notice that?
No.
I won't ask you to watch it again because it made you uncomfortable. But the men were in. I felt that
they were more speaking like a gentleman.
They were far more formal in their speech.
Where the girls were very.
They already had the claws out. Yeah.
Yeah.
So yes, yeah.
Probably for a reason. So.
Indeed. All right. Okay.
So that's 9 stars from you and 6 stars from me.
Do you think I was overly generous in that?
No, you obviously enjoyed it, and I didn't as much. But I do appreciate that it was other people would enjoy it.
Yep.
But it's just not for me.
Okay. All right. Well, moving on to the next one.
Vice.
Pip, can you give me what's the word?
Synopsis.
That's the one. I was thinking a scenario for some reason.
Scenario. Man walks into a bar.
Man walks into a bar. All right. Here we go.
A look at the adult life of Dick Cheney, husband, father, bureaucratic Washington insider, oil company CEO, puppet master, war hawk.
Nicely said. And nicely written too.
I've got a lot of scribbles here. I wrote some and then went, no.
I'll be honest, I was sitting there watching this afternoon, watching Pip putting it all together sort of thing and agonising over it. You put a lot... Can I just say, I appreciate how much effort you put into the synopsis. No, ladies and gentlemen, she puts in a lot of heartache into those things.
I don't. I scratch them up in like a minute.
Do you? Because
you're there watching me today.
Yeah, I know, but it took like nearly 2 hours.
Oh no, but that's because the kids were all screaming and carrying on. I find it harder to write things when there's lots of loud screaming children.
Right. Okay.
Going, Mum!
Yeah, it would look like quite a painful process for you.
Well, normally I just do it when everyone's asleep and it's all good, and I do it at night time, darkness.
Yes, but you were completely. Well, you'd been sick for the last. You've had procedures.
Yeah, you make it sound really horrible. I have not been sick.
The word procedure is not a horrible word. It's simply a procedure.
Ladies and gentlemen, I went and got my eyes lasered.
Right.
Because
and you were so coy about it, and that's why I
didn't want to say it because it makes me sound really vain. But
it's vain in that you made a big thing out of it.
You're the one who keeps bringing it up. I work on a computer, and I don't wear my glasses for working on my computer because I can see a meter away from me very well. Anything over that starts blurring up. So when I drive or I go to the cinema, let me finish. You've started it now, so shush. I have to wear glasses. The problem I've got is, when I'm reading a book or I'm at my computer and someone goes, hey, and then wants to talk to me or wants to show me something, I have to put my glasses on or I have to physically go over there to someone else's computer or whatever when I could have just said and looked properly. Don't look at your watch. Also, my children keep touching my glasses, so I've got fingerprints on them all the time and scratches and things, and it was irritating me. I'm constantly wiping my glasses because I can't see, and it was irritating me. And so I went and had laser done.
You feel better now?
I feel great. I can see. Look at me not wearing glasses and I can see you.
You got that off the chest?
Well, no, you started it and you just say, Pip's had a procedure. We were all so worried. Blah, blah, blah. I'm like,
I wasn't worried.
Well, you make it sound like it's awful. All it was I had lasers
While
done.
Everybody else was freaking out, I was suggesting names for the blind dog that she'd have to have after the procedure went wrong. What was the name that we best liked? Fumbles.
Fumbles
Fumbles the blind dog. I'm not a good friend. Anyway, okay.
It's really nice not to have to constantly changing glasses. It's wonderful.
I'm going to go scouring the internet now looking for a blind dog that would come under the description of Fumbles now.
Procedure. My gosh. No, they were very nice and it was all done really well. I mean, it was the most scared I've ever been in my entire life because I don't like people touching my eyes, and of course you've got people touching your eyes, and it was